Hello, everyone. Let's go over the week 10 housekeeping items. In this video, we're going to cover, again, the feedback on the homework and quizzes, just friendly reminder on that. Assignment 1.2, the Math Resource Center assignment is closed. No more submissions on that. All 6 of the graded discussion forums should have feedback. We'll talk detail about that. A reminder about the analog practice test, especially with the final coming up next week. Friendly reminder on that as well. We'll talk about week 10's discussion forum. It is not a graded discussion forum this week. We'll talk about the reminder about the midterm examination and then my availability during week 10. So let's get started. Same thing as the previous 9 weeks. As you're continuing to complete your assignments, the scores will be automatically updated inside the class portal. You have this week as well as through the end of week 11 to finish up any of these assignments. Just a reminder that the homework, practice midterm, and practice final exam, that practice final exam has opened for week 10. So you're going to want to take a look at that as well. It has unlimited attempts until mastery on it. So you can complete those all the way through the end of week 11. Quizzes have up to 3 attempts on them. The best score out of the 3 attempts is what is recorded to the grade book inside the class portal. My Stat Lab, again, a refresher. If for some reason you have not enrolled into My Stat Lab, this video has been available since day 1 inside the course. So this goes through the process of enrolling into My Stat Lab, how to use it, as well as viewing the detailed feedback. So if you need a refresher, or if it's the first time that you've taken a look at it, please do so. This goes through the step-by-step process of all 3 of those items. Math Resource Center assignment closed back week 3, no longer accepted for any additional credit on it. So the scores out there are final, regardless of any accommodation. The university has approved on this. Go back to weeks 1 through 3's videos, covered that in great detail. Feedback for all graded discussions should be posted inside the class portal gradebook. There is a rubric that is attached to each 6 of these forums. If there's any questions on how they were assessed, please don't hesitate to send me an email. Unless you're underneath some specific accommodation approved by the university, these scores are final. No additional postings of discussion forums can be made at this point. Honor Lock practice test. Folks, we are in week 10. Your final exam is scheduled to occur next week and during week 11. If you have not completed this in terms of testing out your device in terms of hardware, software, internet, whether your camera's working as well as your microphone, please do this as soon as possible. Again, extensions and incompletes will not be granted for the lack of not having Honor Lock working. If for some reason it's not working, this might be the time that you go ask to borrow somebody's PC or device to take the final exam. So the final exam is required to be proctored. And we have been talking about this since week 1 of the course. So if you have not completed this as of yet, I strongly encourage you to do this as soon as possible, because come Saturday, Sunday night, a week 11, sending me a message saying, hey, Mike, I can't get into the final exam or Honor Lock's not working, is not going to be a justifiable excuse for incompletes or extensions relative to the class, since we've been talking about this the past 10 weeks. There is an announcement inside the class portal that refers to this. You can also review the week 1 video where I cover this in detail. Week 10 discussion forum is not graded. It opens Monday, closes Sunday. From an attendance perspective, if you make an initial post, that will count from an attendance perspective. Now, from this particular forum, let's talk about what's involved here. One important thing that this discussion forum is asking about is the concept of correlation versus causation. These 2 terminologies do not mean the same thing. It doesn't mean that A causes B, but A and B may have a high correlation. Now, from a quantitative perspective, there is a value that's talked about inside of homework 10 called the correlation coefficient. CO, I'll learn how to write here. It's a correlation coefficient. This is what you want to address inside to show if something is truly correlated with each other. This may have a typical value that's relatively close to 1, because correlation coefficient can only occur, or the R value rather, can only occur between -1 and a +1. So R squared is always going to be strictly less than or equal to 1. So this is talked about in great detail inside of homework 10. That is what you want to focus on, is this concept of the correlation coefficient in terms of addressing this post. Again, this is strictly for attendance in week 10. If you've already done the week 9 posting, you're fine from an attendance perspective. But I encourage you to take a look at what's out in the forum, because we will talk about that particular concept and address from a quantitative perspective that correlation coefficient. All right, let me clear this out. Next slide is going to talk about the midterm exam. Just a reminder, this will remain open through the last day of class, Sunday of week 11 at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Daylight or Mountain Standard Time, depending on when you're taking the class. Midterm is not proctored. You only get one attempt at the midterm exam, so do keep that in mind. If you have not completed it as of yet, you want to put this on your to-do list as soon as possible. So again, this does remain open through the last day of class. And then last but not least, my availability for week 10 will be available Monday through Friday unless posted otherwise as an announcement inside the class portal. Benchmark to get back with you is within 24 hours. It's usually quicker than that. Saturday afternoon / Sunday, typically I'm not available for responses. You may not get a response until Monday morning. Email address still has not changed. Google phone number is listed there. Goes directly to voicemail, and then I will reply via email. Have a great week 10, and let me know if there's any questions or concerns. Thanks.